like everybody else. It was in tribal trust. When me and my wife bought the land, we put it into fee, just like everybody else's places down there, as soon as we could. We bought this place and we sweated on it. It's been home to raise our kids on. My grandkids are the 6th generation to raise cattle in Semi-Nacious, Montana. But the most important thing is that the United States and the state of Montana and the tribe come in and they took my water rights. See, they're mine, on my land. That water was appropriated to my land. And they took ownership of it. And what he was talking about, Danesville, is totally different than what the state had. But as a tribal member, they took mine too. And this board that they're talking about here that's going to administrate this water, 4 of them out of the 5 are employed by the tribe or have been. So you got to ask yourself, how fair are they going to be? There's already some things happening down there and they went against the public already. So it's a big deal. Running this farm, you know how it is when you're in agriculture, there's never enough money. So I've had a lot of off-farm jobs. One of these jobs in later years, I worked for Flathead Irrigation Project. And on that project, I have been on every inch of it, working. The CME, a bunch of the farmers took over running it, and I was employed by them. I was also the Jocko supervisor for about 3 years till this compact come up. So I knew the water, and I knew how much comes out of the hills. I filled 3 reservoirs, for instance. I delivered water down in the Dixon area. Well, anyway, they come to work one day with this compact, the appendices, and the farmers were losing 90,000 acre-feet of water. And to me, that was unacceptable. That was unacceptable. 240,000 acre-feet, they're giving 53,000 acre-feet. And so that means that all your double duty water, that means your stock water, all this stuff which we have legally filed on with the DNRC in 1982. 90,000 was gone. Well, that makes you not a good farmer, that makes you a poor farmer. And so it affects me just like it does everybody else. And they started doing it this year. They shut stock water off early. They didn't start the irrigation water for, what, a month? It was later than ever. It's supposed to be April 15th to September 15th. But anyway, they started implementing the compact already. They don't fill the reservoirs anymore because if the reservoirs are full, they got to give you non-potable water. So they keep them low. This is the way things are going to be run. And when I found this out, I felt my duty as a supervisor was to tell my irrigators what's going to happen, because they all ask, what's going to happen with this compact? And I said, it's going to cost you. Some of you might cost your farms if you can't make your living. If you can't graze your third cutting alfalfa in that country, what are you going to do? You can't cut it. In October, we've got by this year. It's a very rare year. So, I was telling people what was happening with this water after hours on my time. Well, I got suspended and demoted. And eventually lost my job over this. I had 700 acres of tribal ground rented around me, and one by one, all of these leases went away. I got to admit, that helped me. I don't have to work as hard anymore. But we presented this to Helena at the hearings over there, and the tribal attorney stood up and said, this is how we do business. So you folks got to remember how they do business. And remember, I'm a tribal member. I'm just telling you what I've seen throughout the years. And this thing here, the due process, the Danes bill is what the state bill was. I might add, I was on the Joint Board of Control with Mr. Cole here, and there's a 2/3 vote question of the Montana legislature giving up sovereign
Immunity, giving the state immunity,
state immunity.
giving itself immunity,
Yes.
which requires a 2/3 vote.
Yeah, it required a vote, so the Board of Control went to the Montana Supreme Court, and we put this issue before them. You want to know what? They wouldn't hear state's evidence. They wouldn't give us a hearing. Montana citizens, they would not give us a hearing. And you know what they said in their filing, in their briefing? They said the 2/3 vote puts a cloud over the chance of that compact passing the United States legislature. That was their reason, not the law. It's fact. It's fact. And so, when all this come up, you know, I just had to say something. So I wrote a letter to the irrigators, telling them what they got legally registered in the state of Montana and what they're going to do. Their due process, right on down the line. Us there on the irrigation project, we got $2 million worth of equipment rebuilt, and they give that to the tribe. No compensation. And you could just go on and on about these points. So I contacted an attorney, and we talked about this, so we come to this website, SaveYourWaterRight.org, and that will put you in contact with them. One thing I'll tell you, and I heard it today, somebody reminded me of this. This thing's been filthy dirty since the beginning, and it ain't gonna get any better. But we gotta do what we gotta do. I heard today, and maybe some ladies will talk about this, that there was a bunch of objections sent in, and they rejected 98% of them. So this is the point to do it right. This is the point to do it right. And, you know, you can do it like you said, or you can have an attorney help you. But they're looking for you not to cross a T or dot an I. And that's sickening. That's sickening that they would do that to citizens of Montana. And anyway, I don't want to take too much more time. Thank you.